The QAnon Shaman is pleading guilty to charges for his role in the Capitol riot. You may remember Jacob Chansley from his face paint and his outfit here. Chansley pleaded guilty to obstructing congressional proceedings. He had also been charged with a felony count of civil disorder. NBC News correspondent Julia Ainsley is here now. Julia, this man became in a lot of ways the face of the insurrection. What reason did his lawyers give for accepting a plea deal?
Well, they did say that he was incredibly remorseful and that he had been in a place where he was, mentally vulnerable to some of these conspiracy theories. And now he has disavowed Q. In fact, he wants to take the QAnon part of his QAnon Shaman name completely away. They said that now he does, understand that he is mentally capable and he is accepting responsibility. But because of this plea deal, he will now only be looking at about 51 months in prison. He'll be sentenced later this fall rather than what could have been over 20 years in prison for his role in January 6th. But he also tried to make the point that he was not a grand conspirator. He didn't plan anything. But of course, that face, who can forget the face there of Chansley? That was even recreated on Saturday Night Live. He was such an iconic part of that entire insurrection. Now he's trying to remove himself from history, it seems.
Well, there are obviously others, Julia, involved in the cases anyway about the insurrection. Where do the cases against other extremist groups, like the Proud Boys, for example, stand right now?
Well, it's interesting you mentioned the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys leader was recently charged and also pleaded guilty, but that was actually in his connection for a December 12th rally in which he burned a Black Lives Matter flag. That was shortly after the election had been called for President Biden. But of course, that does not preclude the fact that many are still being investigated, many people who were Proud Boys participating in the January 6th riots. I mean, when this all started, Merrick Garland said, when the investigation started, said that this could take years, right? That it was going to be hundreds of people. The webs are very disconnected. Sometimes you have sometimes someone's ex-girlfriend coming forward explaining their role in it. So there's a lot of webs here that the FBI has had to span out. But just in the past month or so, we've started to see these people come to court, accept responsibility, and plead guilty. And that is a good sign for the FBI that they're actually in a place now where they're able to get guilty pleas and maybe some level of cooperation as they try to trace out exactly how these conspiracies started online and who have been involved in the planning, especially when it came to bringing those explosives that you can see in front of the Capitol.